more, babies.
Thank you, Irene.
Thank you, Irene.
Thanks, Bill. Way to pay attention.
I did that on purpose, dick.
Oh, sorry. So no more thank you, Irenes?
Wait, am I the dick?
Yeah, because you are Richard. So you're a dick.
No, I was saying thank you to Bill.
Oh,
on
okay.
purpose.
Oh, I thought you were doing it to. I thought you were doing it to be a dick because you yelled at Ray the last time.
No, well, Ray did it incorrectly. You did it correctly.
Okay, thank you.
I did it correctly last time.
No.
No, you
Welcome
didn't.
to Simple Minds. No, this is what we decided to start the show differently, and you fucked it up, and you're fucking it up again, arguing with me. Welcome to the Simple Minds Sports Show, conversation with Jonesy. Welcome to the show.
I love how you wing it. It's just a natural flow. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. Not a lot of. Oh, there he is. Start. Oh, he's got to connect the wires.
There we go.
So many people in this. I had no clue. This is a big to do. Jesus. Are you recording video to keep? Or is it
we just do it for fun for Ray to look at later.
This is all Ray lives for in life: is the 2 Zoom sessions we have a week.
Then is it just so we just using the audio then?
No, that's a lie.
No, that's
this
a lie.
video. This video is going out to the world.
Oh, okay. Let me get a light then. I'll put a light on.
Oh, you look great.
No, you look good.
I don't agree.
Yeah, neither way.
No, okay.
I'm fat. I got a fat face. I usually hide behind this.
He can't hear you, dummy.
Projects onto us, Bill, and then he expects us to say, "No, you look all right, Ray. You've done a good job not drinking for."
Yeah, I'm that unconfident girlfriend that you guys are supposed to be like, "No, baby, you look good. That fat face of yours, you look great."
Ray, you have
that
good hair.
shirt
The
really
fact
brings
you
out
wear-
your fat
You have the best hair on here by a mile.
All right.
by a mile.
What is going on?
That curly hair from your heritage
Did
really
he put a
comes in
flashlight
well.
on?
In an apartment.
Did he put a flashlight on?
He did.
Dude, I have more light in my dungeon than you do have in your living room.
Jonesy grabbed a Duracell and threw it on.
Is that a solar
on
lamp?
my
What's that? A solar
Fucking look
lamp
at
you
this-
just hooked
oh,
up?
Jesus. Fuck.
There we go.
My lightsaber.
Oh no, it's just a full on.
Hold on. Oh shit, did it break?
Wait, is that for real?
Full on fluorescent.
Oh my god.
Oh, Jesus.
It's just one extra fluorescent bulb.
He does the trick. I have a second one, but I don't have a stand for it. So,
You have a stand for the first one? That's
yeah, I got a stand for the first one.
It's
I
called a
do.
wall. It just leans against
yeah. A lot of people call that a ceiling. Thanks for joining us, man.
Yeah, no sweat.
Yeah, I appreciate the prep work too.
Uh,
With us now is Jonesy, host of the Weird AF podcast. Whether you think you have it or not, Boston accent comedian, world renowned comedian Jonesy, and Boston sports fan. Happy to have you. How are you?
Thank you. I'm happy to be talking to a few New Englanders, and we could get to some sports, but we could talk about whatever the hell you'd like to talk about today. Would you like to talk about stand-up comedy? I've done some things in the acting world, not crazy, but I've got a couple cool stories about that. I'm down for whatever you guys want to talk about today. Whatever your listeners will find entertaining. We could talk about, I went to Peru and took ayahuasca for 10 days. We could talk about whatever the hell you guys want. You want to get
Yes.
crazy?
Yeah, no,
Yes.
we definitely do want to get crazy, and our listeners are degenerates. So
Isn't ayahuasca it's like meth, right?
No, nothing
No?
like that.
Okay. I don't
No.
know. I've never really
Explain,
heard of it.
please,
Explain.
On meth, you could clean your whole house. On ayahuasca, you can barely stand.
Oh, so it's more like heroin then.
It's more like I don't know.
Bill
It's-
only speaks in illicit drugs, so this is how you're gonna have to continue this conversation.
I tried meth once. I was up for 2 fucking days. I said, I'm
Yeah.
never touching this shit again.
Yeah,
It was
I up-
ridiculous.
I couldn't. That was pretty annoying about it. And I got I had a rough time with the meth. Not something I would do again. But ayahuasca, I would do again. It's just a very
What's the
powerful.
best thing you did on ayahuasca, Johnny?
The best thing, well, one of the nights I had, I was all by myself out in this field. I had left you're not supposed. They don't encourage you to leave the ayahuasca sacred hut where everybody is taking the medicine, and there's a shaman in there singing and conducting some ceremony. I was very bored. I was very bored with the ceremony. I couldn't understand what he was saying and he's singing, and I don't know. I wanted to leave and be outside looking at the sky. So I left, and I was outside in this field. I'm in the Amazon jungle, and of course, there's very little light pollution, so you can really see all the stars very clearly, like more clear than I could ever remember seeing. And of course, the chemical helps you see it better too, maybe, perhaps. And so I just spent this evening out there just doing like, and I don't even do this, but I was doing like Kung Fu moves and staring like in this field, just doing Kung Fu Tai Chi moves, just moving my body. It felt so good to just move my body like this and like that. And, and I was staring at the stars, and I had that feeling where, people, a lot of people that I find annoying like to tell the rest of us that we're all one. Guys, we're all one. You are me and I am you. You are the stripper giving the lap dance. You are the guy getting the lap dance. We're one. I find those people fucking annoying, and I question whether or not they've actually had the oneness experience. I have had that oneness experience on that powerful drug out there in that field looking at those stars. I had it just temporarily for a few hours. And that was the best time I had on that drug. It was a very unforgettable moment.
And now your opinion of those people has.
Oh, I think they're a bunch of charlatans, man. I don't think they've really had the experience. They got ayahuasca sessions out here in LA too. Like they happen out in Malibu, and I'm like, "Do you got a shaman?" They're like, "Yeah, we got a shaman. His name's Gary." Gary, that fucking the Reiki teacher. That's not a shaman.
Yeah. No, hey man. You can speak to it. If you've done it, you can speak to it, and you can be as judgmental as you want to. I feel like that you have full carte blanche. I can never say that fucking saying on this show. Carte blanche.
That's it. You
said
got
it
it.
all right. I got what you were saying. Carte blanche. Right? I got that.
Hey, when will Brady retire, and when did he die to you?
Didn't Brady just say 50 years old?
God, he can't play. There's no fucking way he can play.
Didn't he say 50? I thought he said
did.
50.
He did. Because he hates Giselle. He doesn't want to be at home with those kids.
Sick of riding the horse.
Can he go to 50? Doubtful. No. Can he go to 46? Maybe. How old was Nolan Ryan when he was throwing no-hitters still? He was in his
47.
He went to 47, right? Why can't Brady go to Nolan Ryan?
Because Nolan Ryan didn't get hit.
Yeah,
Nolan Ryan
the one time he tried to get hit, he beat the shit out of Robin Ventura. So that was the last time someone tried to hit him.
He got hit with a line drive in the face and finished the game at the age of 44 or whatever. There's a very famous picture of him.
Yeah, with all the blood.
Bloody. Yeah. He took a liner to the face. Hey, Nolan, do you want to get out of the game? No, of course I don't. I'm fucking Nolan Ryan. Are you out of your mind? I'm from Texas, you cunt.
When did he die to you, though? When did Brady die?
By the way, Nolan Ryan owns a beef company in Texas, and I called them. I called them the main number, and I was asking for Nolan. And they, of course, the lady was like, no one doesn't really get on the phone like this. And I said, well, I just want you to tell Nolan that I called and how much I respect him. And despite the fact he's never won a Cy Young, people are still talking about him. And I think people should talk about him more. And I'm pleased for him. And I hope his beef company has great success.
And Mary said, thank you, sir. Would you like to leave in the return
she
number?
She probably quit after that. She's like, I can't do this anymore. This is fucking ridiculous. So yeah, it's I think it's called Nolan Ryan beef, something like that. Anyways, when did he die?
Can you Google that?
Yeah,
look it up. You guys should call the number too. If he starts getting all these phone calls, maybe he'll come out of retirement.
Maybe, or he'll send us some free T-bones.
The Red Sox could use a middle reliever.
They could use a middle reliever.
It is Nolan Ryan beef.
I told you. It's great, right? Hey, how good is that beef got to be, though, man? It's probably quality beef.
What's the number? 1-800-NOLAN? What's the number? It's got to be something like that.
Oh, it has to be.
1-800 strikeout.
I can't remember, man. It's 1-800 Robin Ventura's a pussy.
God, that's one of the best videos I've ever seen.
I love that.
I fucking love the uppercuts to the face.
He clocks him. He fucking clocks. The kid's like 20 years younger than him. Clocks him.
You'll never see another one like Nolan Ryan.
These pitchers don't
Jonesy.
stand like that. They don't stand on the mound and take it. Even Joe Kelly likes to, he ain't gonna stand.
Joe Kelly's a fake tough guy.
He's a super
Hey,
fake
deal
tough
with
guy.
it.
Look at.
I got the shirt.
He's just
Jonesy,
got a
you're in
screw
LA.
loose.
You're in LA. You've done some acting. We want to hear about your little acting, about your acting stuff here. But also, I'd like to hear about how quickly the douchebag grows on you when you move to LA, just in terms of days.
Or cuntiness, whatever you want to call
However,
it.
it's defined by your doctor out
uppityness,
there.
yeah. Is he frozen?
It's pulling a rich here.
Is this a
The
trick?
internet service is bad out there. They'd say that you pay for it, but
Oh, it says my internet connection is unstable.
Oh,
Can you
there
hear
you
me?
go.
it was
Now it's-
frozen.
Oh, we thought you were playing a trick on us.
So your question about me adopting the LA douchebag lifestyle and all of that is it's appropriate. But I haven't done that at all. I've kept it real the whole time. I'm still keeping it real. I'm still East Coast all the way. I still jaywalk out here, which is not something people do. They think I'm crazy. I'm like, you're gonna wait for that white man to tell you can fucking walk? Are you out of your mind? Just walk. So,
What's your
but also-
acting all about? Tell us about your act. Where can we find your acting savant?
Oh, you can find some clips on my website, jonesy.com. There's some clips
There it
on there.
is. That's what we're
yeah.
looking for.
Yeah. I did I was on Gotham, Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, Nurse Jackie, Law and Order.
Have you been on
SVU.
shows anybody's ever heard of?
Oh, come on,
on,
great
man.
show.
Gotham?
Gotham's a great show.
baby.
I'm just kidding. Jesus.
Have you
Bill
heard of
only
Letterman?
watches Shark Week. That's
Have you heard of-
basically the
Have you heard
extent
of
Shark
was on-
Week and Shawshank Redemption is like the extent of Bill's fucking TV knowledge.
I love Shawshank.
if you happen to be a fan of the Naked Brothers band on Nickelodeon back in the day, yeah, I was on that.
The Naked Brothers band? Is that what you just said?
Yeah, the Naked Brothers band. You didn't watch that as a kid? Okay. Yeah, I did that
Pussy.
show too. Yeah, I did a
No.
bunch of cool shit. It was all right. Had a good time. Nothing major. No like lead roles in any films or anything like that. But we're working up to it. We'll see what happens.
So you're still trying to act?
Yeah. Still trying to act. The business is probably cut in half for acting out here. I've noticed I have fewer and fewer auditions these days, but I'm hopeful that they'll pick up. So I'm going to stay in the game. A lot of my friends have moved away. They're like, I can't afford to stay in LA. I'm not going to stay here. Boom. I'm going back to Cincinnati or whatever the hell they're from. But I'm sticking it out. I'm gonna stick it out. I feel like, hey, good. You all leave. There's more opportunity for me.
Is that COVID related or is that
Yes.
just like
Yes. Yeah. Completely COVID related.
Is that like something where they're just cutting like kind of like bit parts or like extras down just to keep the set smaller?
I think there's a bit of that as well. Yeah. They're cutting sets down to keep it smaller, keep it more manageable. Of course, as a comedian, a lot of the stage time went away as well. And I think comedians were frustrated with that. And so they realized they could move to Vegas and do more comedy, or move to Austin, Texas, which happened to be like a very popular destination for comedians this past winter.
Yeah, Rogan went down there because they've been open for
Yep.
shit since June of last year. That's why
Yep.
a lot of those guys were moving down there.
Oh, so many comics made that trip after Rogan did, and a lot of them that I know are still there. I thought they'd come back, but no. I guess I don't know. Maybe it's a good comedy scene over there. It sounds like perhaps it is.
what's the LA like? What's your take on the LA comedy scene? Did you feel like you had to move to that spot with it from a comedy perspective to kind of get an edge, or was it more of a whole career perspective you're getting out there?
Yeah, it was a whole career perspective because I wanted to like perhaps dabble in the world of writing and do more acting, and so there's more of that happening out here. Certainly, all the writing jobs are out here. If you want to write for television and film, you should be in LA. And the acting opportunities were plentiful as well when I moved here. Before this, I was in New York for 10 years, and I did a lot of stand-up comedy and acting there. And at one point, I had been on every little show that was shooting there. It wasn't a lot, but maybe they were shooting 6 TV shows. At one point, I had done a small role on each show. And then after you do that, they have no use for you. And there's no,
Right.
I can't audition for another role on that show because I've already been cast.
It's not the 80s, man. That you just can't. People.
Yeah.
They're just
people know this.
recurring characters.
Yeah. They're gonna put a wig on me, and now I'm some other character. So I was like, well, I got some friends that had made the move to LA, and I had been out here a few times to check it out. I really liked it. Certainly the weather, and I'm a sports person. I like to play sports. I like to be outside, and so to me, this made a lot of sense. I could be outside all year round, play sports all year round, live a more comfortable lifestyle, and have more acting opportunities, and perhaps maybe just check out, hey, what's it like trying to be a writer as well? Because I have a little bit of a gift for writing as well. In fact, if you click on my website, there's a videos page, and on there, every video I wrote, directed, and acted. I acted in most of them as well, and edited all of them. And so I got kind of a talent at writing, and I thought, hey, why not come on here and let's just see what it's like.
There you go.
Did your comedy take a step back when you moved out here? Because like New York, I feel like the comedy scene's a lot better. I mean, you think there's probably 10 clubs within 5 blocks of each other in the city down there. So it seems like you can at least jump from club to club to club and get 4, 5, 6 sets in a night in New York, where I feel like in LA, you can't really do that. There's a couple of them out there. Yeah,
that's true. That's true. There's only a few and they're spread out. So in New York, you could do 3 or 4 sets a night. That's something I had to deal with when I came out here, is like maybe only doing 1 show a night. And which out here, that's a big deal. If you can get up every night once, they're like, oh, you're doing well. You're doing well. Where in New York, that was easy. So yeah, I had to accept that, which was hard because I love doing stand-up so much. And that was kind of tough to deal with.
So if you were presented the opportunity for a stand-up situation, if you were presented the opportunity of in a hotel room, say, and Louis were to old-fashioned himself for a special, would you give that? You'd give that the thumbs up, or what do you think? Where do you think you land on that?
So if Louis was like, would you like to come up to my room? I'd like to kind of go over my set list for my next special.
Yeah.
And then he was like, hey, also, I'm not wearing underwear and I got an itch.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't have to smell it. Just watch from a distance.
I've always said, I haven't always said, but like because I just really respect Louis' work, and I've told people like, they're like, if you could have any career, what would you like to have? My answer has been, I'd like to have Louis' career if he didn't have any hands.
I always thought he was a genius. His shows were so bad. Louis was so fucking good.
All geniuses are crazy of some kind, right? It's like,
he's got a new special.
God forbid you got to jack off around people, get canceled.
He's got a I don't know if you're aware of this, but he's got a new special that's on YouTube. It's audio only. It's called I think it's called like I'm Serious or something like that. It's like a black and white picture, and there's a bunch of clips of it. Little portions of it are all on YouTube. There's a bunch of them, and they all add up, I believe, to the entire special. They're all very good. He's still a great stand-up man. He's a master at it. And listen to it. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing, man. You can't cancel a guy that's this funny.
I'll tell you, I used to listen to him like before on Opie and Anthony years and years ago. They had Donald Rumsfeld on, and he kept calling him a lizard the whole fucking interview. And it must have been the funniest thing I've ever heard. Like on the phone, just kept calling him. So you were raised by the lizard people? I was like fucking dying. I love Louis.
I love him too, man.
I mean, so he's a Boston guy. Bill Burr's my guy now. Like he's a Boston guy. You're a Boston, like. And this isn't a Boston thing because you're on a Boston sports show, but the Northeast, the comedy that comes out of it, your experience throughout your career here, is it just better or more raw or different? Or like, a lot of the guys get their start up here. We all know what it's like growing up. I mean, if you listen to our show, we just shit on each other constantly. So it's just like, just part of the fabric of the humanity around here. It feels like, so. Like, do you feel that in the comedy, field?
Yeah. In fact, just recently, someone asked me where I started, and I said Boston. And like, oh shit! And it was another comic, and he's like, oh damn! Like it was like I only did it in Boston for like a year and a half, not long. And then I moved to New York and did it for 11 years. But the fact that I said I was from Boston, that was kind of like they perked up. They're like, oh shit, a Boston guy. All right, cool. And like so, my impression was, oh, there is like a cachet to this coming from Boston. Other comics know you're the real deal. I often think like, why is it the Bostonians make such great comics? And I do have a theory. I don't know if this is accurate. This is just a hunch. To me, the best jokes are grievances, and nobody airs grievances better than Bostonians. Who's more pissed off than a Bostonian? Like I just come from a family of pissed off people, just complain. And those make great jokes. And so is it the harshness of the environment, the harshness of the weather? Is that what's going on when you live in a shitty part of the country where there's bad weather? Will you be more angry, and will you be, but then maybe not, that's not it, because then people from Wisconsin might be great comics as well. But it works for Canada though. A lot of great comics come out of Canada. So the jury's still out on the weather thing, but definitely a place where people are or get pissed off and are good at expressing that, which clearly Bostonians and New Englanders in general are good at expressing how pissed off they are. I think that's part of it. And, that's why you get guys like Nick DiPaolo. I mean, fuck, man.
Great. I mean, New York's not that much different, honestly.
And New York's got some similarities to that as well. Sure, absolutely.
Yeah, no,
isn't DiPaolo canceled yet? It's close, right?
Nick DiPaolo. Well, he went around that by like
not big enough.
Yeah, he does his own stuff now. He
released his last special on YouTube. It was like, fuck you, it's on YouTube for free, and it's great. It's super offensive. I love it. Someone's got to do that. Somebody has to do that. And so
it is. Last Ray, I know you got some sports questions and a couple to come. So last question to you, and it is about what you just said, Jonesy. And I know, we didn't want to get too far into like the career stuff, but it's super important to me and on my mind, the PC and the cancel and how that's going to affect comedy, because my favorite comics are insult comics. So I guess that term's gone away, but like those are the best. Even the best that still do it are doing it. I mean, Kevin Hart and Chappelle get away with it, but they're shitting on fucking everybody, and they get away with it, right? So it's like,
especially Chappelle, he can do no wrong because he makes fun of everybody. It's the same thing with South Park. South Park literally make fun of everything. They can do no wrong. You remember the Muhammad shit? They can do nothing wrong because they shit on everybody, so they kind of get that free pass. Same thing with Chappelle.
The question is just do it without apology and do it good, because Seinfeld always says this too. It's like, it's not unoffensive if it's funny. Like if it's funny, it's funny.
It's funny. If it's funny, it doesn't matter. Exactly.
Right.
Well, we should say this because there's always going to be, because comedy's subjective. So it's not going to be funny to everybody. But if it's funny to most, that's okay. And then if you got a problem with that, fuck you. We already have the data.
Yeah.
90% of the people that were present at this joke loved it, so you can fuck off. You're
the data. I hate that, but I get it.
Yeah. It's like you're an outlier. You know what I mean? Like if you don't like this, you're an outlier, and so you can't cancel. I think this is. I talk a lot about this. I think a lot about this. Clearly, I think this is the worst of it right now, and I think it's just gonna. This is just a learning period. We are going to grow from this and hopefully get to a point where we know how to handle this better. Right now, the culture is not handling it very good, but I think this is just a stage, and I hope that we get beyond this and we get mature. It's all about getting mature and being adults. Can we get to be adults about this stuff? Be a fucking adult about it? I think we can. Recognize what is a joke, what isn't a joke. Recognizing things like separating the artist from the art. These are things that a mature culture should be able to get to, and I hope that we get there.
Yeah.
Speaking of being mature, have you met anyone in your career that you just like looked up to and like idolized, and then met them and been like, holy fuck, this guy's a total douchebag?
Louis C.K.
That's only a rapey reason.
Well, when I met Dane Cook, it wasn't like he was a douchebag, but
he's total douche.
Yeah,
he just wasn't very friendly and receptive to me. I was like, I'm a comic from Mass, and I just love it. He might have been in a headspace. You don't know when you meet these people what they're doing. He was gonna go on stage in a couple, so maybe he was just like doing his thing. But I just went up to him and let's just put it this way: I didn't feel very good after the interaction. So.
Did he steal any jokes from you or no?
No, I wasn't even on that show. I just was hanging out at a club one night, and I thought, oh, Dane Cook's here. But a lot of comics probably run up to him. I mean, I don't blame him. I don't take it personally.
I will say this. I know that he stole some joke. He gets a bad rap.
People rip him apart, and For
He
me,
was top
He
of the
was
game
very. I saw him at the Garden, the Vicious Circle. I saw him.
you saw that? Yeah.
I did
was
the
the
late
peak.
show.
That
Yeah, I
was
did
the
a late
peak of
show on the
his-
Saturday.
Yeah, that was the
Oof.
peak of his popularity, selling out the Garden like
It was
that.
all downhill after that. He came out with some shitty movies with Jessica Simpson. That was atrocious.
I have to say though, and I got no bones about saying it. The last few times I saw him do stand up here in LA, I was very impressed. I thought his material grew. It was more mature. It was more philosophical, reflective. It was dark. It wasn't that whole you're running all around and I'm a frat boy kind of stupid shit I love that when I was a certain age. Of course, I love that. I thought that was great. But I feel like I've grown with him, like I like dark stuff now. Like I really like the darker, the better, man. I'm like Doug Stanhope dark, but like not that Dane was doing quite like that, but Dane's evolved as a comic, in my opinion. And I actually, because I didn't believe me, I went into it thinking to myself, I'm not going to enjoy this, and I did. I really thought it was very thoughtful and clever and philosophical and deep and dark. And I do enjoy his act. I think he's grown a lot.
He went on Louis a couple years ago too, when his show was going on. Well, probably 5 or 6 years ago now, and they kind of squashed their little beef because he was.
It seems great when he goes to see him in the back of Madison Square Garden to talk about the jokes. I love that scene, and I thought Dane was really cool. Do you know the story behind that? He sent Dane that script, and Dane goes, "No, I don't want to say these things. I want to do it. I want to do it another way because I don't agree. I want to change it up." And Louis said, "Okay, well, if you don't want to do it, I'm gonna get another actor to play you. But these are the words you have to say." And Dane goes, "Okay, I'll do it." And Dane, I thought that was really cool of him to do it. It was kind of.
I think. I like Dane. I thought that he got kind of swept into that. Everyone's shitting on Dane Cook, so let's shit on Dane Cook kind of thing.
Half of it is just jealousy, man. A lot of comics who were like alt comics who like thought they were too good to like pander to a crowd, be physical and all of that. They thought his jokes were just lowbrow stuff, and then he would just sell it and embellish it with a lot of act outs and stuff. But the bottom line is the dude fucking sold out gardens, plural. Fuck you. What have you done in your stupid little alt jokes? What do you sure you had a nice set in Brooklyn in front of 70 people. Take that to the bank.
The political science major in the back really fucking understood that Ukrainian fucking joke.
Sure.
Nailed it, dude.
Fuck, man. Hey, and then to be a pioneer in the way that Dane was as well in the world of social media. Like this guy was the first one to sell out what he was trying to do was crazy. He's like, I'm going to sell out my show on MySpace. At that time, you realize how crazy that was? People were like, you're not going to do that. That's not going to work. He goes, watch this. Boom. Puts the show out, sells out immediately. Like no one would even think to have done that back then. He was a real pioneer in the social media world, building his brand and building his audience that way, man. And I don't know if people are talking about that, but it's like, dude, hats off to that too, because that ended up being the model for all of us, even bands as well. Dane was a real pioneer when it came to that, man. I thought, that was fucking great. His first website, it's a famous story about how he spent all his money, $25,000. It was everything in his bank account to build a website. And I don't know if you remember his first website, but it was really cool. It was different. He hired the person who did like the official Army, U.S. Army website. He hired that person and spent every last dime on making that website great, at a time where no one had a website. And this guy's like going, fuck it. He just could see down the road before all of us, I think. And you got to respect that. I think. And
he kind of brought Bob Kelly too. Like I like Bob Kelly a lot. He kind of brought him. He brought him on it. You hear his name a lot more than you hear Dan Cook nowadays, and he was kind of an opening act for Cook for many years.
Yeah, the first time I saw Dane in Boston at Faneuil Hall, the Comedy Connection. Yeah, Bobby Kelly had opened for him. Yeah, and I remember Bobby would come all the time to open for him, and I like Bobby's comedy as well.
And fuck you, Bill. My employee of the month is not great, but waiting is fantastic. So don't.
I love waiting. But he had a bit part in that. Welcome to Thunderdome, bitch.
Raymond,
where do you invest most of your time for the Boston Four? You got the Bruins, Red Sox, Celtics,
oh yeah, sure,
Patriots. Where do you spend most of your time watching?
Well, you're limited with NFL, right? 17 games, so the watch time is limited. Probably total watch time. I watch the Celtics more than any.
True Bostonian. True Bostonian.
Well, because I could watch NBA all night. I just love it. I just love it from start to finish. I do not miss a Patriots game. I'm saying that. I'm just saying, but there's more available watch time to be had watching the Celtics. The Red Sox games, I don't watch in their entirety, but I watch every single YouTube condensed clip. They're like 9 minutes long.
I love those. That's all I watch too.
Nobody watches a baseball game in there.
No one watches a baseball game, right?
Yeah.
The YouTube and these little clips, these highlights have just been a blessing. So I follow every single game this way. Every couple of days I'll catch up.
And you talk to your friends like you know exactly what the fuck is going on.
Exactly. Fucking A. Yeah, I love
Welcome
that.
to our show.
But I don't miss a Pats game. What I like watching most is the Pats. Football.
So then Pats, then Celtics, and then Red Sox.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Sorry, Bill. Hockey's on the back burner here tonight, buddy.
Basketball sucks.
So what was your initial thoughts when Cam Newton got released?
Well, I thought that was the right decision to release him. If you're going to go with Mac, you release him, of course, because Cam is a bit of a prince. You know, he's you see how he dresses. You know, this guy's got a big ego. He's a leader of men. I get that. And if you're going to relegate him to a backup role, I think keeping him in the locker room could be an issue. And by the way, it's not going to make him feel very good either. You know, you can't take a 5-star general and then make him a sergeant and keep him around. It's just not going to work out.
No.
So this is what they were, you know, and I think Belichick, first and foremost, he's all about the culture. And having some situation like that would endanger the culture of winning that he's built. And so I think the best idea is to let Cam go. And it's in Cam's best interest as well, because he's not being there. It's going to make him feel like shit about himself. You know, this is a guy that wears feathers in his caps. He can't be that. He can't be a backup in the locker room. Also, it gives him an opportunity by releasing him to just sit around and wait for the opportunity to be a starter, because he's not going to take any backup role. Let's be real. He wants to be a starter. And as injuries, they're part of the game. You know, how many quarterbacks did we see get hurt this week? There will be a position open for a starter eventually. Some shit ass team will hire him and he'll start half a season, a segment of a season. He'll get some work from this. So everybody's going to benefit out of this. We get Mac Jones from day one to go and learn how to do this. And Cam gets to sit on the sidelines and wait for his starting role to appear somewhere, whether it's Miami, who the fuck knows?
I don't think he's got one.
Bill, can I go? Because I know exactly what you're thinking.
Go ahead.
Can I just say what is in Bill's mind? Cam Newton's never going to start in the fucking NFL ever again in his entire fucking life.
He sucks.
He's got too many feathers in his hat. It's weighing him down, and he sucks. And the answer to what was your initial reaction to Cam getting released by the Patriots is rock hard. So that was the sum up.
Hammer fist.
I wish I could, man. I wish I could agree with you, but the NFL is so hard up for a quarterback that just knows how to, not get completely destroyed. That they'll hire a guy like that. Andy Dalton, dude, has been starting. Ryan Fitzpatrick was named. I don't disagree with you,
Jonesy, but the only reason I do disagree with you is Cam Newton went through the entire NFL twice in 2 off seasons, and no one hired him except for the Patriots twice. So to think that, I think that the quarterback situation is going to have to get really, really desperate for him to find a job. And maybe it's Miami. They're dumb, but I just think
it does get desperate. It's so desperate that teams will consider bringing Deshaun Watson on their team. That's how desperate it is.
I'll take Deshaun Watson in a second. We'll deal with the rapey stuff later on, but pure talent alone, give me Deshaun Watson.
We're not afraid of lawsuits.
That is a PR nightmare. That is a PR nightmare. And by the way, as soon as you take him on, as soon as he tries to get on that field, that's when the commissioner is going to, lay down the law. So, good luck with that. You want to take him on your team? There's not even a guarantee that he's going to be able to play a single game for a year.
That's fine,
man. They suspended Roethlisberger, 6 games for one woman. There was never any criminal charges. They suspended Zeke for how many games? 1 woman, never any criminal charges.
He grabbed her titty.
He's got 20. He's got 23 women.
32.
This is like, you think he's gonna play a season? No fucking way. His suspension could be 16, 17, 20 games. Who the hell knows? But it's gonna.
The exemption list is a spot on. The second he tries to play, he's going on the list. So,
so are you, as a team, you're gonna take that on? You're gonna take that risk on? Hey, he has Here's 3 first-round picks. Here's my starting
Well,
quarterback.
I wouldn't pay 3 first-round picks for him, but if it
Well,
could
that's what
cost
they're
me
asking.
if it
Yeah,
could
that-
cost me a first, I'd take my chance.
They're never going to give him away for that. They're asking for 3 firsts and more. It was
They
going to
want
be
6 players.
it was going to be
pieces.
Tua, another guy, and 3 first rounds. That was what they were discussing with Miami.
They'll wait till next year. The legalities of it are supposed to hit come January. They'll pay it out. He'll pay it out. I don't think that they have a ton of legal ground, because if they did, that we'd hear about it at this point. He'll probably pay a lot of women a lot of money, and he'll be back in the NFL next year, and the Texans will trade him for a goddamn ransom, and that'll be it. And he'll miss a year of football, and he won't be the same player for a year or two, and we'll see if he gets back.
I think that's exactly what's going to happen, and I think he'll either go to Denver or Miami.
Yeah, or whoever. At a year from now, who the hell knows? I mean, Urban Meyer's going to be out. Maybe Trevor Lawrence is on the move. Like,
you think Trevor's on the move? Oh shit,
dude! If Urban Meyer's going to be out and Trevor Lawrence looks like shit, and who knows? It just in the NFL, the bottom of that barrel overturned so many times. I give it up to anybody, but I am confident that Deshaun Watson will be traded, but it will not be till after the draft in the offseason of 2022.
I agree with you. Yeah, it'll be a while. Despite the desperation.
Ray, you got any follow-up Boston sports questions there?
Quickly, who's on your Mount Rushmore of Boston athletes?
Ooh, tough.
Well, you got to go Pedro.
Nice
Start. Wow.
Well, he's had 2 of the. Well, first of all, so wins the World Series, but also has 2 of the greatest pitching performances in basically all of modern baseball. If you dig deep into this, 1999 and 2000. The statistical dominance that he had those 2 years we haven't ever seen in over 100 years. It was so off the charts compared, relatively speaking, compared to all the other pitching that was going on. It's insane. It's the equivalent of like a 56 game hitting streak. It's the equivalent of hitting over 400 in a season. To me, it's like winning 2 Triple Crowns in a row or some crazy shit like that. I go Pedro. I've never seen a pitcher more dominant than he was in those 2 years in my life. So it's got to go him. It got to go Ted Williams, right? And Brady. And then, God, man, Russell. There's so many though. I want to put
Larry
Bird.
I
want to put Bird, Russell. Well, you got to put Russell over Bird. Jesus, I mean, how many championships?
I don't think so. I
don't think so. I think Bird goes over Russell only because
we've had this conversation, and a lot of people have. Actually, I don't know if you guys saw
Russell won a championship as a player coach.
But they were playing against dentists and shit.
Who the fuck? They're playing against dentists.
Tommy Heisen smoked 2 packs of cigarettes at halftime and went out and won NBA championships.
Sure.
Bird, the Bird magic. Bird's the best Boston Celtic of all time, but of a player. And now accolades, you can argue it's tough to go generation. I mean, it's your list. You can put Russell in there. Not a lot of people are going to argue with you. Putting up two Red Sox.
Would you put Big Papi up there?
Papi's
I put him over Ted Williams.
Close, right?
I put him over Ted Williams just because he has 3 World Series.
Yeah. And well, just for the clutch factor too. I mean, have you ever seen a hitter come through in those moments like that? I mean, anywhere, anybody, it's tough. Yeah, I should consider him up there as well.
He had 600 against St. Louis in the World Series. 600.
It's pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
Williams missing because of the war is always a tough argument.
Oh my God. When you look at those prime years there, he misses 3 seasons, let's say. That is, his stats, he still hits over 500 dingers. Like, imagine his stats padded with 3 or 4 other years in his prime. It's ridiculous.
But he lose 2 World Series, 46. They lost in 7.
This is a time though when this is Joe McCarthy's Yankees, man. How the fuck you gonna win? There's 2 leagues, there's no divisions. It's hard to win a World Series, man. It's just impossible. And those Joe McCarthy teams were so legendary, man. Like, how the fuck are you gonna compete with Yogi Berra and Joe DiMaggio and these dudes? Like, those teams were so stacked, man. They don't have a chance, even with Ted Williams. So I don't knock him for not winning the World Series. I don't at all. I knock him for being Mexican. Jokes, guys.
Don't cancel us. Hey, that's a good place to end this. This has been the Simple Minds Sports Show. Jonesy, host of the Weird AF podcast. Check it out. Where, Jonesy, this is your spotlight. Tell us where we can find you, everything you got going on. Please, it's your show here.
Oh, thank you so much for that, Rich. So you can everything I'm up to is on my Instagram, which is @FunnyJones. If you just want to follow me, shows and wherever the hell. And my podcast is Weird AF News, and it's on every podcast platform. Or you go to weirdafnews.com. And what it is just briefly for your listeners, it's I do weird news 5 days a week. So the podcast has been around for years. I got over 1,000 episodes, 2 million downloads. So weird news 5 days a week. On Friday, I only do weird news from Florida. It's Florida Friday, and people love it. It gets more downloads than any other episode. Man, people can't get enough of the weird, degenerate Florida shit. As I'm sure you guys know, like what goes on in Florida. Holy shit, the stories are so crazy. People love Florida Fridays. But every 5 days a week, man, it's just a bunch of weird news. And I always say this, man, if like mainstream news makes you fucking depressed, right? Just end your news segments for the day by listening to Weird AF News. It'll put you in a good mood. I try to make the stories funny. They're always strange and educational anyways, but I try and bring a little humor to it as well, just to wrap them up with a bow for the listeners. And it's the only daily weird news podcast in
Oh, that's perfect. Perfect time for the fucking internet to break in LA. Weird AF News. Oh, he's back.
You froze.
The whole thing shit the bed in the middle of it. But let me finish up for you. And Weird AF News, if you don't listen to it any other day, listen to it on Friday because Florida brings the best of the news of the day. Ask Bill's mom. We know. And if you can listen to it the rest of the days, then please do listen to it right before us or after us. We're open every day too. Weird AF News with Jonesy. Thanks so much for joining us, man.
Thanks, guys. I had such a great time talking to you. I'd love to come on some other time. Let me know. This was a really good time.
Yeah, what a blast, dude. We'll keep in touch during the football season for sure.
Great.
Maybe before or after Brady rips our hearts out in week 4. All right, man. We'll see you. I don't know how to kick you out.
This happens every interview. We just have no idea. We just hope you leave quick.
Well, yeah, just briefly, I don't know what you need. Do you need a picture of me? You want to just grab one off Instagram or something? Is it the same
dick pics always work.
The dick pic. I'll send you 2 dick pics and a
He's got good timing.
Perfect timing. It's like he plans it out.
He's good. I should just kick him out right now. So
I do.
Yeah, he's gone. See ya. Good mind, good comedy mind. You could tell just by talking to him, like when you talk to comedians, the way that they work through things, like he's got a good comedy mind.
Yeah.
Funny guy. Like Bill.
Try.
Just less
Gray.
Less meth.
I tried meth once.
One time. One time.
Wasn't for me. Although he does look like Walter White.